everybody. Welcome to You and I Builder Live, and we are 100% beardless today. Welcome my special guest today, who does not have a beard, and neither do I. Paige, please introduce yourself.
At least not. I mean, I'm trying to grow one, but it's not working so well. Anyway, I'm Paige Duffey. I'm a product success manager here at ServiceNow, and today I'm standing in for Brad. So this should be fun.
This should be interesting, at least. And I am Maria Gabriela, Ochoa Press Vector of the many names. I am an outbound product manager. Man, it's so much easier to just repeat what Brad says to introduce himself, and then I don't have to think about it.
Yeah,
so today we're going to have kind of a slightly different episode. We're going to be talking Hacktoberfest. We're going to be looking at what people have contributed so far. And we're going to try to see if we can contribute something ourselves to one of these repositories. So feel free to ask your questions in the chat. Today, we're going to have a lot more interaction with you all. We're not going to be going off on our own adventure here. And let's go ahead and get started. Paige, have you ever participated in Hacktoberfest?
I have, the last few years, in fact. I've had the opportunity to do that, so...
There we go. Okay, finally. Whew, it pops up. So here we go. What I've got open right now is one of our 3 repositories. If you go here to the main repository README. Yeah, so background, Earl also isn't here, but we forgot to tell Earl. So we didn't even know if today's show was going to happen, honestly. It's a miracle we're even here because Brad's not here, Earl's not here. I don't know if the show is going to end today, honestly. We're probably going to be stuck here streaming for like an extra hour. I don't know. We will find out. So now, I opened a new tab. Here we go. Let's share this tab. So this is the main Hacktoberfest ServiceNow repository, where you can see all of the projects that you can contribute to. And this is Paige's app, the Plants app. Paige, do you want to tell us a little bit about this repository?
It's honestly kind of a mixture of things at this point. You can go in and add your house plants for everyone to see. You can also go in and contribute to a page where you can start logging tasks to do for your plants, or remembering to water them and things like that. Some people have made some really cool automation as well. So if it's an outdoor plant and you're in a certain area and it rains, it'll automatically mark them as water. So yeah, I mean, it's got a variety of levels of contributions that can be made.
Is there anything that you think is missing from it right now that you wanted to have in it?
Honestly, a lot of people have taken it beyond even my expectations. So I'm not sure that there is for the Plants app. Though I will say that the name keeps getting changed, and nobody got my inside joke on the name. It was named after the Little Shop of Horrors, the name of the plant shop. So.
But people just thought it was someone customizing it and making it their own name?
They did. So, I mean, so it can probably use with styling, but a lot of the functionality, you all have done a really good job in 12 days adding. I'm amazed.
So if you're ever like us and you don't know what to contribute, or you don't have any ideas on what you can contribute, you can go here into the issues spot. And you can actually see if there's any ideas that other people have added to the repository on things to be done. So a great example of this is going to be the this one, the menu generating operations program widget experience page, and the menu generating operations program custom components. And yes, I may have honestly spent about 3 hours trying to come up with the right letters to make it my initials. But you know what? It's worth it. Totally worth it for a super confusing name. So here, the issues, you can see that I've got some enhancements, some bug fixes. But something to note about this one is typically if you do some work here, you're also going to want to do it on the sister repository. And there's sister issues here, and they link to each other. So for example, I think here you can see, oh no, this is something, and then check it out. Actually, this is a great example. If you want to work on one of these issues, just tag one of us and let us know that you want to work on it so we can assign it to you. I thought I assigned this one already, but let's go ahead and do that. And that now it's assigned to them. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to go through and take a look at our repositories and then show you guys what we look for when we are approving a pull request. That's totally the reason why I haven't gone in and approved these pull requests yet. Not because I've been too busy. Totally just because I wanted to have examples for today's and next week's episodes. So let's take a look at this one. We've got a new variant of record page created, which contains caller information on the sidebar. So, oh, wait a minute. Let me see if there's any that don't. Oh, I think they're all going to have the checksum issue, which requires a couple of extra steps to take care of. So I guess I will do these offline then. In that case, let's take a look at these issues and see if there's any that haven't been resolved that we think we can tackle so far. So it looks like this one is assigned to Rampriya. Let's see. So in order to pull this into our instance, I'm going to copy this right here.
This right here being the URL that you can't see.
Oh, right. They can't see the URL. I'm going to copy the URL to this repository. And I will go into my instance where I've made sure that I've got my GitHub credential working. And then I'm going to go to, hey, Paige, walk me through how I do this in AES. I know how to do it from Studio, but how do I pull stuff in AES?
Pretty much the same way. I don't remember. We could walk through it. I will be honest, I normally go through Studio to do that, but it should be pretty similar.
Oh, wait a minute. I already have the 911 operators workspace here. Do you think that's going to matter?
It probably will.
I think it will. Let me see if I have a different instance that I can use. Because I think that's the instance where I made it.
Yeah, because it should have the same scope then, and there will likely be a conflict.
Man, look at you being logical. Do you mind?
Sorry, it does happen sometimes, but.
So how long have you been doing Hacktoberfest for?
Oh, I don't know.
Hey, you gotta.
I believe
you gotta sit down and write down when you started doing ServiceNow, when you started doing Hacktoberfest, and have these answers ready. Because the amount of times you get asked these questions, you don't remember. Shocking, I tell you.
I will be honest, sometimes I just make up numbers. I'm like, I know it's been more than 10 years, but less than 15. So I'll pick some number in the middle, which I probably should not admit. Earl tells me
don't blame
2019.
you.
So I believe Earl.
Nice. And the next instance I checked also has it already installed. Come on, me. I know. Okay, this one. Now let's see if this one has credentials.
Well, if you're just trying to show how to import something, you could always just import a different repo, just to walk through that.
The signs of a real developer. GitHub for realsies. That's how you know true professionalism, truly. Here we go.
I do have to be really careful when I'm making demos for customers.
So I got, why? Because you use silly names?
Yes.
Oh no.
Frequently.
And this default email is something that I think I need to grab from my settings because I don't like it using my email, and GitHub has a setting you can use to hide your email. So let me grab that real quick. But I pasted the URL of the repo here. I'm going to use that branch. I'm going to use this email, and let's see if it works. Here we go. The branch. Oh, man, y'all, I forgot. The very first thing you should do.
Create your branch.
Yes. Hang on. Where is this? I forgot to fork my own repo. Where is it? Okay, let's try this again. So I'm going to share this tab. I'm going to go here. I'm going to create a new fork of the workspace repository. It's going to be right here. I'm going to create the fork. So let me rephrase this. You should not just copy the original URL for the original repo. You should copy the one from your branch. And my main branch is main, the one that you fork, rather. And now I'm going to paste it in, and it's going to be my username, repo name, instance, main.
I don't think you need the S in instances.
Oh, you're right. So something that that Earl recommends, though, is you should make one branch per feature that you're working on. So that way you don't submit like half-finished code or mess up and have multiple different things in a single pull request, for example.
I think it's also easier for us when we're reviewing your work if your branch has a name that's different than the main branch, because I know when I'm reviewing it, it'll tell you what's in the main branch and then what's in your branch and what the differences are. But if they're both named main, they both say main. So you have to remember that the top one is, what's incoming. And so it does make it a little easier on us if you name your branches.
So like usual with Brad, do as we say, not as we do. So let's see.
Hey.
Wow, that's nice. I can make let's see. What am I going to do here? Let me look at the issues and see if there's any that I can pick up. Well, you know what? Actually, let's take a look at what other people have done first. Let's close out of here. And I'm going to open up the experience in UI Builder.
But I think it's important to note that whenever you do this, you're getting whatever is the baseline for the repo at the moment that you forked it. So like all of the issues that have not issues, the pull requests that have not been dealt with yet, you're not going to see those in here. And in addition, if those are pushed to the main repo and you don't, I think it's called rebaseline, you're not going to see those in your fork if your fork occurred before those issues were, or those pull requests were submitted. Sorry, words are hard sometimes.
Words are hard. I've actually never used Workspace Builder in AES, so I'm just going to go straight to UI Builder in a different window real quick.
Workspace Builder it's a very easy way to stand up and create a very simplistic workspace and manage it at a very simple level, because of course everything in AES is meant to be for your low code to no code users, but you cannot do more complex stuff. So the moment you want to like make major changes to the form page, so not the form itself, but what the page is bringing in or something like that, you kind of have to go over to UI Builder. It does have a handy dandy link though that'll pop you out into UI Builder.
Awesome. So let's see. I think this is This is a variant created by somebody. So when you're contributing to these repositories, it's important for you to go into the README and in the contributing.md file to know how to contribute to these repositories. So here it says, make sure you create a variant and only make changes there. Don't make changes to other people's variants, but you can make a variant from other variants if you want a variant.
Wow.
So I heard you like variants.
That was a lot of the word variant.
So many variants. Oh, it looks like I forgot to upgrade this instance yet, so I haven't been able to, I didn't upgrade it to Utah yet. I mean, sorry, I haven't upgraded it to Vancouver yet.
I was going to say, you're not even on Utah.
No. Okay, so it looks like this person made the change and added the create emergency call action up here, which is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, that's really cute. That's a very nice touch. So let's go ahead and say that someone calls in and now I can click create and it's been created. Awesome. So now I can see that it's an unassigned task. And now here, let's see what happens. Pick up emergency task, what that does. Oh, nice. They made it so it immediately picks it up, opens the record, and is it assigned to me? It is assigned to me. Nice.
Very cool.
So this is an example of an awesome contribution to it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go in here and we're going to clone this variant. We're going to work on something we rarely work on in UNI Builder Live. We're going to work with CSS.
What?
So let's see. Duplicate. And I'm going to name this Home with Emergency Call Layout Change. And we're going to create it. Man, this is going to really, like, once you get used to developing on UIB in Vancouver, it's going to really suck to go back to Utah. So let's go back to the editor and make sure we're on our right variant. Okay, we're on the layout changes. So now let's take a look and see what this all looks like. Okay. So it looks like they made this emergency call flex container above the dashboard. So we've got the container pickup. I know, right, Ailey? Vancouver's just so nice.
It is. I think the worst part is trying to remember that a change is part of that new version. So you're like, oh, you can just go do.
Oh, wait a minute.
Version are you on again? No. Okay. Sorry.
So we've got the pickup task container, the container for the form, the container for the button, and then the caller details matched by phone number. Whoa, what is that?
Oh, can we go back and
caller details matched by phone number? So does that mean we've got callers Oh, I wonder if it uses, let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and add those phone numbers, those obviously fake numbers, to my account. I'm going to close out of here and I'm going to go here and something that I do wish happened was that it erased the contents of the previous call when I hit pick up emergency task. So we'll see if we can add that here in a second. But right now, let's see if it recognizes. Oh, it filled in my information. Nice. So how about this? We're going to go back here. And the first thing I want to do is I only want to show this caller details container. First, I'm going to rename it because we do good things here. Caller details. I'm going to rename it, and I'm going to make this only show up when it has something in the phone number. So let's see where this gets stored. State. Okay, so it's a value. So it's a awesome. It's a client state parameter. So then that means if I click here, I should be able to click on edit component visibility. And I'm going to hide component data pill. And now I need to do, this is the hard part for me because I always get confused with the logic here. So if I want to hide it when it's empty, I have to do if empty. Or is it exclamation mark?
It
is exclamation mark.
There we go.
It's gone.
Easy enough. Can you change the test value? Does that'll basically, yeah. So if there's something in it, so got it.
See, that's why it always confuses me. So now let's test this. I'm gonna share this tab, and it's still there. So that means I have it backwards.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
And now let's refresh over here and test it again. And check this out, Paige.
Yes.
Oh, I was about to talk about my non-dismissible. There's my banner. Did you know in Vancouver, banners can now be set to be non-dismissible?
I did not know that. And also, I should add a banner to all of my instances. I can't tell you how many times I forget what version it's on.
It's so convenient, honestly. The only problem is remembering to go back and update those.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so test value is none.
Well, so when you set a test value, is that only for the page that you're on, or will it actually...
I wonder if that's what messed this up.
We can't see if you're back on the...
See, everybody, this is what real... No, Brad, stop. No, I was about to say, this is what real UIB development looks like. I was about to go hit Google, but then Brad gave us the answer. This is what it looks like when you don't have a pro online.
Yeah. I guess I didn't include that in my intro. I am not a UIB pro, so by replace Brad, we meant that very loosely. Like,
yeah, it's definitely, we are both a downgrade when compared to Brad. We should, you know who we should have on next week? Hey, Ailey, you want to join us in 2 weeks?
Because Brad is also not here, so we need more.
Yeah, Brad's also not here next show. If you want to join us and show us how you contributed to the custom component, that would be fantastic. So let's see. Let's go back. Brad says that Ailey's an upgrade from him. Ailey is awesome. Awesome.
Notice he did not dispute that we are not. And that we...
You're right. Hold up. So let's go back to what Paige and I do know, and that's UX and design. Let's not mess around with data right now. So let's first go in and...
I like how you say Paige and I know, like I know anything about design.
When I first started in ServiceNow, I always looked up to you in the terms of portal.
If you give me a design, I can replicate it. I just can't make the design myself.
And that's okay. So let's see. I actually want this to be a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, right click, and I'm going to add a component after this. And I'm going to grab a container. And I want this container to be maximum width 50%. Let's do 75. And then I want this one to be 25%. Oops, 75. So I want them to be side by side, and then I want the collar details to actually be in the second container. So I'm going to drag and drop. Man, drag and drop is nice.
It is really nice.
Oops. I'm going to disable this real quick. We have it in the second container.
Fred says, if only we had column-based layouts.
Honestly, like, I'm missing Vancouver so much. Let's just pause the show, upgrade to Vancouver, and we'll be fine.
Well, I mean, we're not 100% sure that we can disable the live stream anyway, right? So by the time it's done, we may still be live.
True. We may still be live. So I'm going to rename this container to be color container. And actually, emergency call container. So what I'm actually going to do, so I'm going to add a new container here as well. And we're going to rename this one to be call details. I'm going to move call details into the emergency call container. Then I'm going to put all the containers inside of that one.
I know it looks like a lot of containers and containers and containers, but it works. So
yeah, it's great.
It is. And if I think about it logically, anytime I've done actual coding, it's typically very similar. It's just in code form instead of, drag and drop. So I much prefer the drag and drop and visual of it.
The drag and drop is just so nice, honestly.
It really is.
But yeah, this would be so much better in Vancouver. I miss Vancouver. So I'm going to move this down below this one. And in Vancouver, there's also a Earl. What a throwback. I do miss my HTML days like you wouldn't believe. So now everything here is upside down. So I'm going to just make things right side up. I don't know why actually they had two different containers for the two different buttons. So I'm just going to make them in the same button container, just next to each other.
I wonder if it's well, no, I guess if it's a variant. I was going to say maybe one person made one button and one person made another.
No, yeah, it was the same variant.
Yeah.
So now I've got the container form. I'm going to put the form above that. And then the container pickup task button. Why are these buttons so big? That's why they're size large. And let's make this medium. And then this, we're going to make this one into, well, first let's see what we got going so far. And in Vancouver, you know what? I think this episode's going to be a please upgrade to Vancouver episode. Because in Vancouver, you would have this preview button and it would be so convenient instead of opening new tabs every time.
Yep.
Let's see how badly we've messed this page up so far. Something's fishy here.
Someone asked, is there a way to map my approvals and approve reject in UI Builder? Yes. I don't know that we're going to delve into that in this episode, but you can do that. And there are some kind of out-of-the-box templates that you can look at where they've built that behavior. So there are some nice examples that exist out there.
That's exactly it, Ailey. That's what I just realized is that right now, And this is another incredible upgrade for Vancouver, is that in Vancouver, when you are previewing a variant from here, you have a little preview button instead of the open button, because when you hit open, it shows you the variant with the order number that is the lowest. So even though we were hitting preview, we aren't seeing the variant that we're editing right now. We're seeing the original variant. So in order to test this in Utah, what we actually have to do is we have to go to settings, change the variant order. I'm going to set this one to 1, and I'm going to hit save. And then I'm going to go to our variant, and I'm going to set that one to -10 for testing purposes. And I'm going to hit save. And now that we've done that, when we go here to share this tab instead and refresh, boom. Oh my goodness, could you, that would explain Ailey is right. This is why we need Ailey. Quick, send her the link. The reason our stuff wasn't working before was because we weren't looking at the right variant. So now I'm sure if we go back here, select our stylized text, or our color container here, and we do container visibility, component visibility, hide component. If, hey, state.phone number, save. See, this is why Vancouver's just so awesome. Have we said that yet? You should upgrade to Vancouver.
Vancouver is nice.
And it's gone. And now it's back.
Look at that.
Look at that. Look at
Oh.
We're nothing but real here. But now, for test purposes, like Brad said, if we go back into our component visibility, I want the test value to be true. No, false. So that way I see it while I'm designing the page. So let's look at the container. So we got the emergency call, the call details container, and I'm going to put the caller container into the emergency call container. Or there we go. So we got the caller container. I'm going to move the call details container above this one. I'm going to change the emergency call container to be 100% width. And we're going to change this to this direction. There we go. So we got the direction, and now they're going to be all side by side. And this caller container is only going to show up if we have the number filled in. So now let's take a look at what's going on with the spacing here inside of the call details container. We've got our form header. That's fine. The container form. We've got Flexbox going towards the right. But I want there to be some padding here. And what's really awesome about Vancouver is that now you can visually see padding and margin in a little box plot. So it makes it a lot easier to be able to tell the difference between what is what without having to be a CSS maestro and know everything. But I'm wondering why these look so tiny. They got the container left with 50%. Let's hit save and preview how it looks now. And let's refresh. Okay, so we've got some padding in here, but we've still got nothing here. So let's go back and share this tab instead. And let's see.
If you click on the one that says phone number underneath container left, what kind of component is that? It says phone number, yeah. The actual. That's interesting. I guess it's so they could add the icon. Ah, it's a field. Got it now. Sorry.
Where'd you see that?
I figured it out.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I don't see it saying field anywhere.
No, I was trying to decipher what the tiny little icon meant.
Oh, this is so cute. I love this.
Yeah.
I've never actually messed around with the field component.
I haven't either, and that's part of the reason why I was so confused is because I saw the end start in label and I was like, what is that?
So let's see. The width of this is 50%. I don't want to save that. Let me refresh real quick. I don't know what I just deleted. Oh, something else.
Is an undo button.
An undo button would be great. You know what, Paige? I think that's in Vancouver. This is officially the I wish I had Vancouver episode.
The irony being that it's not like we don't have Vancouver instances, and we've just been a little ahead of the game for today.
Yep. So I'm gonna add some margin here. I'm gonna make it small. Then I'm gonna add some margin here, and I'm gonna make it small. And then we got the description. We got the container pickup. So here, I do want it to be aligned to the right, but I want it to be, there we go.
Yeah, that's nice. Just need a little padding between them now.
Yeah, so let's see. Gonna go to styles, and I'm gonna add some margin. I want it to be medium. And let's add margin to the other one as well. Medium. And now color details. Let's see how we can make this look a little bit better. Why does this look so cramped here?
I don't know.
Actually, I want this to be an H3, and I'm going to make these guys Oh, is this just? Oh,
Interesting.
Oh, this is an interesting way of doing this.
It is.
Huh. I'm going to make this. So let me add some HTML then. And that's the fun part about Hacktoberfest, is that it really shows you, it really, how do I say what I want to say? I'm so tired.
It shows you the creativity and, kind of thought process of other people.
That too, but it also shows you what it's like collaborating in a real setting with other developers. Because that's something that as you learn and as you get started in ServiceNow, you don't get very often when you're just working by yourself. But here, we kind of had to change the approach that we were going through in order to be able to collaborate with this person. So now let's see how our thing's looking.
I would even add that it gives you an opportunity to look at something and go, could this be done better? Not saying that in this particular case it could or couldn't be, but again, sometimes when you're working alone, you don't get that opportunity to really look at existing code or existing things and think of better ways to do it or more preferred ways to do it.
Exactly.
And alternatively, you don't have people looking at your code and going, hey, there are better ways you could do this.
Exactly. So let's see. Is there any last minute thing we could do in the next 5 minutes to change this a little bit, or should we try to go ahead and commit this?
Let's go ahead and go through the process of committing it, just if for no other reason than we're wrapping it up in a nice place and kind of walking people through the entire end-to-end process.
Awesome. So you want to know something funny? It's a big secret. Don't tell Brad, you guys.
I think he had to leave, so we're good.
Yeah. So don't tell Brad, guys. I don't think I've ever actually committed from a ServiceNow instance. So let's see what we do. Let's go back to
So how did this get into the repos in the first place, or into Git in the first place? Like, how did you
use? No, okay, no, you're right. I guess I have committed from an instance. Okay, no, thank you for.
Earl's back. No. Can't tell.
No.
What?
I hit stop sharing, and Brad isn't here to fix it for us.
Oh, I thought it was Earl doing it to you.
Earl! Yes, thank you, Earl.
I thought he was trolling you. I mean, because that never happens, ever.
Yeah, no. Earl never trolls me, ever. He never trolls me. What are you talking about?
There's not a whole clip of that out there or anything.
I can't believe that he made a looping version.
That's just some dedication. I can believe he did. Yeah.
So, okay. We've got our changes done. Fine. Hang on. I will say this then. I haven't done it from AES. So let's see how easy this is. I think I'm going to go with commit changes.
That does seem like the proper choice.
It shows us all of our changed files.
And there are buttons.
Continue. So. And the commit comments are super important. So I'm going to put in here updated. What was the name of that variant? Home with emergency call. Home with emergency call page to have different layout for emergency call creation. I'm going to copy that so I can be lazy later, and I'm going to hit commit. Awesome. So now let me find my other tab. So now I'm going to go back to the repository. I'm going to go to my fork, and I'm going to see that this branch is one commit ahead of the main one. And it shows that I just made a change to it. So I'm going to hit contribute, and I'm going to open a pull request. And it used the comment from my commit in ServiceNow, which is awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and hit create pull request. And now what I've basically done is I've basically told the main repository, hey, here's the changes that I've made. And now I want someone to approve it. So now I'm gonna mimic Earl, and I'm gonna do the hats on, half off thing that he likes to do. That's really cute. And I'm gonna put on my pull reviewer hat on, and now I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna take a look, and I'm gonna see, okay, there's a complete message here. I can see that there's a lot of files changed, which tells me that a lot of work was done here. Unfortunately, with the way that ServiceNow works, you don't really get to see the source code or anything like that. So it's difficult to kind of gauge what is being contributed at any one time. But we can tell when you put effort in and when you don't put effort in, and a comment goes a long way for it.
Yeah.
So now that I have reviewed this and I deem it to be a valid PR, I'm going to go ahead and hit merge. And I'm going to confirm the merge. And now the pull request has been closed. And if we look at the code, you can see 2 minutes ago, here's the most recent pull request. So that is the entire journey for contributing to a repository. And I'll be going through these later today and resolving them. But next time, we're going to be working on the custom component. Ooh. So Ailey is going to show us how she contributed. Here's a sneak preview, Ailey. Get ready. She's going to show us how she contributed to the custom component itself and the test steps that she went through, and we'll see if we can contribute something else that's new. Is there any closing remarks you might want to make, Paige?
The only thing I would add is back on that comment statement. Those really, really are important, and I just want to I just want to repeat that. Sorry, I just want to repeat that because. So if I've gone in and some comments have been very, very brief on what was in it. So there was a comment, but they were very brief. And when I went to look at the actual contributions, they didn't really match up with the comment. You may find that we push back on that because we want to know what you're actually doing and ensure that things match up and that something's not going to hopefully break everything. Though in all fairness, if something breaks everything, then I just hope someone else goes in and fixes it. But it's not me. But yeah, those comments are important. Sorry. I also love how you are basically, lining up your co-host live.
Hey,
whatever works.
Brad's left me with no choice. He's decided to abandon us. So, oh my goodness, should we do a lady coding happy hour style takeover of You and I Builder Live?
I mean, I think we're already like halfway there. So
we're already halfway there. We just need 2 more women.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Awesome. So plugs. Oh, actually, this is something that's going to be very relevant to those of you who enjoy this show. Our academy next week on the 18th at 11 a.m. Eastern. Brad will be there with me hosting that show. And we're going to be making a workspace from scratch.
From scratch?
From scratch.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, so we're going to see how that goes. So those of you who may not be familiar, currently creating a workspace is easiest using App Engine Studio. And then there's also the Workspace Builder. Because when you create it through AES, it auto creates a lot of the files for you and the file structure that's required to support the workspace. But making them manually is a lot more difficult. So that's the reason why we tell you guys to always start from an existing workspace, because a custom workspace from scratch is somewhat of a challenge. And we're going to try to tackle that live in the Academy this week. So it's going to be a great episode for y'all to tune into. And then the next episode of You and I Builder Live is going to be on October 26th. And we're going to have Ailey as our special guest, and she's going to show us the custom component contributing. Thank you, Ailey. But that's it for this week, you guys. Thank you all so much for surviving our first Bradless episode. Hopefully it won't be one of many. And thank you so much for joining me, Paige. I appreciate you being here.
No problem. It was fun.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.